Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of NASCAR Heat for Career Mode. Hope you're all having a great day. Today we go to many tracks, Road America, Eldora, and then Darlington as well. There, as you see the news for today's episode, Clint Bowyer, our teammate, gave away his chance of winning on the final lap at Bristol, which now makes him in a must-win situation still to make the playoffs this season. Matt Tifft, this will be a big race for him as it could set the criteria for him going into the regular season finale at Indianapolis. Gary Owen, we'll have an announcement obviously in the next race where we're going next season for our fourth season in the Cup Series. Kyle Busch has been picking up lots of momentum lately here in the regular season, so I think we're going to have to watch out for him here late in this season going into this playoff charge. Now has come through to the first Xfinity race of the episode where we had subscriber and actually channel moderator and good friend RJ Bishop in the cars. He started just a little bit outside of the top 10 in this race here in Road America, but he would actually move his way forwards and climb up inside the top 10, passing the one car there of Michael Lynette for JRM, and he came through now on the final lap out of the penultimate corner. Got a little bit loose here and there, but he came down through into the final corner, going just a tiny bit wide, but it didn't really affect him too much now as he went down this front straightaway, just about half a second or so maybe ahead of Michael Lynette there as he came through up the hill, and he would come through to cross the line to have a pretty solid effort here in Road America. It was a top 10 finish, P7 here in Road America. So very happy with that. Now as it came through into the Truck Series where of course we had to have Hailie Deegan in the truck here in Eldora. She started on the inside lane in the back part of the top 10, but she would move her way forwards very quickly here in Eldora. She came through down into turns 3 as she was actually up there contending for the lead, but as the race went on she actually started to fall back a little bit here throughout the final few laps. So unfortunately she wasn't in contention for the race victory. As you can see, she fell towards the kind of back half again of the top 10, kind of where she started as she came through out of turns 4 on this final lap, coming through to cross the line here in Eldora. It was a P5 finish here for Hailie Deegan, so it's still solid to say the least. And now as we came through to Darlington, finally the throwback race here this weekend, we had throwback driver Mark Martin in the car. I had a little community post go up last night seeing if you guys could guess who it was based off the colors, you know, blue, white, and black. There was a lot of Ryan Newmans in there, but no, it was Mark Martin based off of his the coloring of his Viagra car when he drove the 6 car back in like 2005 or 6 or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. Now he came through moving his way forwards as this race went on, as he had climbed up into the 3rd position there, passing Noah Gragson, actually going a little bit wide into turns 3, pushing up the 2 of Tyler Reddick, but he came through battling with Noah Gragson now on this final lap for that 3rd position. Gragson though would get the best of him as he came down this front straightaway. Mark Martin comes through to cross the line in his NASCAR comeback, and he would finish in the 4th position here. And now we finally come through to qualifying for the Cup Series for myself here in the car. Now as we went down this front straightaway, it was a pretty decent qualifying effort. We hit a 29.173, and we qualified P8 here in Darlington for the Southern 500. So definitely some speed in the car, and hopefully we can carry that over into this tough track with Denny Hamlin on pole.
NASCAR's in Darlington for the running of the Bodangles Southern 500. This unique egg-shaped oval, known as the track Too Tough to Tame, has become home to the Throwback Weekend. Join us as we celebrate 7 decades of NASCAR.
All right, thank you, Rick Allen. We're ready to go green here for the Southern 500 at Darlington Raceway. Right off the bat, you see something big. BJ McLeod's car is really fast today. He is that driver right now, 30th in points, keeping Matt Tifft out of that top 30, and this could be exactly what Brad Keselowski wants, because McLeod will probably, if he doesn't have any issues, probably stretch out that points gap now to Matt Tifft, making it very tough for Tifft to get into that top 30 in Indianapolis. So we're going to see how it shakes out here today now as we are underway here in the Southern 500 from the 8th starting position. All the throwback paint schemes out for show here tonight in Darlington. On the inside we got Brad Keselowski running one of the Rusty Wallace throwbacks that he does every single season. Now as you see Denny Hamlin, who's up front running that, I think it was a Darrell Waltrip throwback if I'm not mistaken. Obviously I don't know all of the throwback cars because I'm still pretty young and I don't really know much about the kind of history of the sport. Now as we go down into turn 3, always scary to be on the outside here in Darlington because just how narrow the track is and how tricky the track is. Definitely the trickiest mile and a half on the Cup Series schedule. Now has come through to complete this first and opening lap side by side with Jimmy Johnson as we go down into turns 1, nearly making contact with him, and then we actually get our first Darlington stripe of the day already here in Darlington, so we're going to have a few repairs to make once we get the opportunity. But we came through on lap 3, we had gone to the inside of Martin Truex Jr., and then we had also gone to the inside of our teammate of Kevin Harvick, and we would continue in this battle with Harvick. We came through on lap 5, now going up the inside of Jimmy Johnson, 3 wide there as Johnson fades through back in the middle, and Harvick still prevails at the moment as we we climbed up now to P9 as we went down this front straightaway. Came through on lap 7. We do the same exact thing to Jimmy Johnson's Hendrick Motorsports teammate of Alex Bowman. Harvick on the outside, myself on the inside. Quite a bit of contact there with the 88 of Bowman. He probably didn't appreciate that very much, but still couldn't quite get past the 4 of Harvick. We had Kurt Busch actually get past both of us, and then I would look to the inside of Kevin Harvick here a few laps later, once again going into turns 1, trying to make the pass on the 4 of Harvick, and finally we would be able to actually get clear of our Stewart-Haas Racing teammate of Kevin Harvick, as you see him starting to slip and slide a little bit at this point, but we kind of just followed Kurt Busch through the field at this point. We're up to P8 now on lap 16, getting to the inside of the crew of Keselowski. The one-time Cup Series champion from 2012, obviously was very close to being a 2-time champion in our career mode last season. He dominated the last part of the race, and then he blew an engine leading the championship, which was very unfortunate for him in that Homestead Miami race. Now as we're side by side with Keselowski as we go down into turn 3, certainly Brad not going down without a fight, but we clear him into turn 3, and certainly showing quite a bit of speed here in the car in the Southern 500 so far. Now as we came through on lap 19 and 24, we had actually had some drivers starting to come to the pit lane. Ryan Newman being one of them, the first one actually that comes into the pit lane, and then the next lap later, or a few laps later, or whatever it was, on lap 21, Kurt Busch, he comes into the pit lane. That would be the end of those drivers kind of pitting. There was a lot of drivers behind us that pitted though. We came through approaching the final lap now as the caution comes out. End stage 1 a lap early from P5 we get though, so definitely not disappointed in that. BJ McLeod gets P10, which now means Matt Tifft is 8 points out of the top 30 in points, and he knows it's going to be a downhill spiral from here if BJ McLeod can continue to run well. But we would obviously come to the pit lane for 2 cans of fuel, 4 tires, and repairs, and get ready to go green for stage 2. We lost 1 position on the pit lane. Now we will restart P6 here, side by side with the 47 of Ryan Preece, who's running good. He won the first Daytona 500 we ever competed in our career mode. Some cars got off pretty slow there, but if Preece could get up in the mix and somehow win this race, that would once again change the playoff grid. The way this season has been so weird. There's a lot of potential for this playoff grid to get shaken up quite a bit still. But then just these final 2 races, there is a 20 of Eric Jones got to the wall on the exit of turn 2. We got into the bank bumper of him, but no damage done to either one of us now as we go down into turn 3. Bowman of the inside of the 20 car of Eric Jones for Joe Gibbs Racing. Now it's Kyle Busch though leads the way down this front straightaway. Hamlin has fallen back a little bit down to P3 as we come through to cross the line. P7 as we come through to complete that first and opening lap of the second stage, closing in on the back of Bowman there as we actually got to the back bumper of him through turns 1 and 2. Now on lap 4 of the stage, still behind Bowman through turns 1 and turn 2, and he slides up in front of us, and we hit him in the back bumper sideways. Goes the 88 and spinning into the outside. Well, a huge hit there for the 9 of Chase Elliott, collecting a front row car of David Reagan, as well as that was a big hit for the 9 of Elliott, as we basically just completely dumped the 88 of Alex Bowman there. 100%. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to take the full blame on that one. Bowman did slide up in front of us and checked up at the same time. So, therefore, a little bit of the blame on him, a little bit of the blame on me. I say more of like a 50-50 situation on that one. But either way, we get back going here, and thankfully, we obviously didn't get taken out in that situation. I felt bad still because I was the one who hit Bowman from behind, but also he just drifted right up into my lane and just slowed up, so I don't know exactly what he was doing there, but certainly not something I don't think he's going to be doing again throughout the rest of this race. But we know he's probably not going to be very happy about that one as we came through now on lap 13 of the 23 in the stage. We're actually going to go for a quick crank it up here in Darlington.
Stay low, stay low. Ten laps to go. Still there. Still there. Still there. You got room. You're clear.
Oh, All right, there was our crank it up here in the Southern 500, still running P5 just behind Denny Hamlin as we got past Eric Jones in the process as well now, as we're just a little bit under 10 laps to go here in the second stage. Now as we come into turn 2, very sideways on the exit of the corner. Thankfully, we keep it out of the inside wall there, but we lose the position to Jones as all of a sudden that took a turn nearly for the worse there, as that's not the first time I've lost the back end of the car out of that corner here in Darlington. Obviously, I think it was our rookie season when I lost a car out of turn 2, slammed the inside wall. We went a few laps down due to repairing the damages of the car, but on lap 18 of the stage we had gotten back to the inside of Eric Jones, and once again we would pass the 20 car of Eric Jones now as Kyle Busch was leading at this point as we went down this back straightaway. We would continue to run down the cars up ahead here now on lap 20 of 23, and then I actually hit the wall there. I think that was only like the first time this stage we've hit the wall, so definitely doing a little bit better. Kyle Busch pretty much putting on a clinic here in this race so far as we came through on the final lap of the stage, right behind Ryan Preece. Now as there's actually a car blowing up in front of us, so we go up to the outside of Preece, who's going to kind of get stuck on the inside lane. It looks like it's the 66 of Joey Gase as we actually hit the wall there as I slammed the brakes to avoid running straight to the back of Denny Hamlin. But either way, we still get up to P4 here on this final lap of the second stage. Kyle Busch leading through turns 3 and out of turns 4. He would easily come through to win stage 2, and we're going to exit turns 4 to get a top 5 here in the second stage to finish P4 behind third place of Denny Hamlin. So definitely a solid car we've got right now for us. Logano was second there, and then David Reagan actually is going to round out the top 10, so very impressive there from David Reagan. BJ McLeod did not get a top 10, so right now Tift is still 8 points out of that top 30, but things are definitely going to change here in this third and the final stage. But now you're going to see here the running order, and it's actually going to be a bit of a surprise. Matt Tift is 39th out of the race, so this is going to be here. We might as well just be able to write Matt Tift out of the playoffs now. So Keselowski loves to see it. He's just hoping nothing happens to BJ McLeod as we gain one spot on the pit lane, getting ready to go green here for the third and final stage. We are underway. Joey Logano took the lead over Kyle Busch on the pit lane. So Busch restarts P2, 40 laps to go. One of the longer third and final stages on the mile-and-a-half tracks as we're going to get aggressive going down into turns 1, 3 wide for the lead with Logano and Kyle Busch. Logano, he backs out of the situation. We're side by side with the 18, the one-time champ. Still, remember, we started this career mode when Kyle Busch was only a one-time champion, so he is not considered a two-time champion now, as he could have won both championships so far in our Cup Series career, and he kind of blew them both away. Now as we come through turns 3 and out of turns 4, Kyle Busch easily pulling away. Now as Logano gets right back up to myself, and he's putting on a lot of pressure as we go down into turns 1 on the second lap. He's going to go in front of me as he actually comes up in front of us, chops our nose, he goes into the wall. We make contact there. Certainly wasn't sure what that was about, but that actually brought out a caution, and that would set us up obviously for another restart here in the third stage. Logano must not have been a fan of us being really aggressive on that restart, because he went into turn 1 and he just drifted up right into the left side of my car, unfortunately. Now, as we get ready to go green, once again we are back underway. You see up there in the top left for a brief moment, 22 laps of field. So if it stays green, we will have to make a green flag pit stop. As actually drifted over to the 22 of Logano and actually gave him a little bit of a shot to the door, letting him know that I wasn't a huge fan of what he just did. Now as Keselowski, Logano's Penske Racing teammate, gets to my inside as we exit turns 2. Really surprised I haven't knocked the wall down yet on one of these restarts where we've been on the outside. We've been on the outside quite a bit here on these restarts tonight in Darlington. Now as we fade in behind the 6 car of Ryan Newman, still hoping to see Ryan Newman back at the track, or at least in the car. He's at the track this weekend in real life. And then we came through a few laps later and we got another caution once again. Now as we had actually drifted down to P7 at this point behind Brad Keselowski. See a few drivers pitting, LaJoy and McMurray, but we would not pit. We would get ready to go green once again from P7 this time. Now on lap 65, we're back underway here. Kyle Busch definitely looks like he's going to be very, very tough to beat here in the Southern 500, which would once again get him even closer to Dale Earnhardt. I think this would get him within 2 wins of tying Dale Earnhardt's win count if he can win this race here in Darlington. That would also mean that Kyle Busch is closing in on Jimmy Johnson as well as Jeff Gordon and whatnot, because Johnson doesn't really win much anymore in the NASCAR Heat games, and in real life, unfortunately, for Jimmy now as came through of the inside of the 6 of Ryan Newman. We'd once again move our way forward, so we climbed up in the top 5, got to the inside of now Eric Jones at a turn 4, coming through to hit lap 68. Kyle Busch still leading over his Joe Gibbs Racing teammate of Denny Hamlin. Jones, he hasn't won in a long time, but he's actually had a very strong season. He's 6th in the the point standings right now. So Jones still running strong. We clear him through turns 1 and 2. Take P4. We're coming through now on lap 69. Nice. Right behind Denny Hamlin, the 11 car in P3, who had lost the second position to Joey Logano. We came through on lap 73 now. We had gotten to the outside of Hamlin as we came through down this back straightaway down to turn 3, trying to make a pass on him, and he drifts up the track like Logano did, and slams right to the side of us, puts us both in the outside wall. Certainly wasn't very happy at this point, and I thought about retaliating, but I decided I didn't really want to bring out a caution, so I decided to just stay kind of calm and collected, and sure enough, we come through rallying back a handful of laps later. We got to the inside of Hamlin down into turn 3, and we would be able to retake the position from the Joe Gibbs driver now as we climb up to P3. The car was definitely really good on the long run. I think we were one of the best cars on the long run, but on lap 79, I decided we had to make a strategy call. We were going to come to the pit lane a few laps earlier than the AI to see if we can try to use this fresh tire advantage to get out in front of them. So I decided to do one can of fuel, and then 2 tires and see how that would pan out for us. We have had some struggles with strategy recently, but we come into our pit box. I was very confident the AI would take 2 tires this time around, so we come through putting the 2 tires on the car. I ended up actually repairing the little bit of damage, but it's a 9.5 second pit stop, so now we just hope that no caution comes out, and well, the caution just came out, and now that completely messes us over. P27, the first car lap down, which means we are the lucky dog, but that also means we have to go all the way to the back of the field, so I decided we would just come to the pit lane again to put 4 tires on the car. So as soon as we came out of the pit lane, the caution comes out. Definitely just great luck for this team here recently in the career mode. Certainly not very thrilled with that, as that completely just blew our race away, to be completely honest. Now as we would get back going, that was not obviously, in my opinion, a pit mistake. That was just terrible luck and bad timing for a caution to come out now, as I was certainly contemplating in my head that a caution could come out right around that time, and I just kind of went to the pit lane anyways and hoped for the best, and unfortunately it did not go our way. So obviously now we have to work our way through all of this traffic here, as Darlington just has not treated us very well so far in our career mode. Back in NASCAR Heat 3, this was a track we got our second career win at, actually, so definitely a little bit different this time around in NASCAR Heat 4 in our 3rd attempt at the Southern 500. Obviously too far back now, as it was Denny Hamlin leading the way. We came through to 5 laps to go, approaching 4 to go. Denny Hamlin still out front at this point as we continued to work our way forwards now, as we came through with just 4 laps to go. We would get past Ryan Blaney here in the mix, as you can see them running this outside lane. Johnson up here as well, as there was a lot of Hendrick cars around each other. But now as we came through approaching the final lap, we had gotten past them and been battling with the 37 and the 88. They're getting into the left rear of the 37, but I can mention it was Kyle Busch now who had taken the lead in the final lap. Certainly one of my more aggressive races, I think, at the 1.5 miles this season, and probably not going to go over well. There you see Alex Bowman, the driver we completely destroyed earlier, running up here in P19 as we have rallied back to P20 after the caution came out at a terrible time. We go down this back straightaway side by side for the final time here with the 88 of Alex Bowman, but the story is on Kyle Busch. Once again, he's going to come through to win. I think this would be his first Southern 500 victory. So Kyle Busch wins, and that would be 74 career wins for Kyle Busch. As we come through to cross the line, Bowman gets us at the line, and we come through to finish in P20 here in the Southern 500 at Darlington Raceway. Denny Hamlin up there in P2, BJ McLeod in 16th, and Matt Tifft all the way down to 39th. So now Matt Tifft is in big trouble, well over 20 points out going into Indy, which will be hard to make up for him. As I said, solid car, bad timing for a caution, nothing really wrong on our part here in Darlington. But like I said, actually I decided to insult Joey Logano on that one, because of what happened in that 3rd and final stage, right at the beginning of that 3rd stage. But like I said, Matt Tifft is now well over 20 points out of the top 30, and for a car like his, he is going to have an incredibly tough time making up those points. So in my opinion, we can pretty much write off Matt Tifft in Indianapolis, and if we don't get another surprise winner, the 3 drivers in on points, Martin Truex Jr., Eric Jones, and Brad Keselowski should all be in the playoffs at the end of the next episode there, as you see the current playoff grid. And as always, if you guys did enjoy this episode, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Those would all be very appreciated. Unfortunately, Boyer has to go into Indianapolis and win, and if I get an opportunity to help my Stuart Haas Racing teammate and veteran of Clint Boyer, I'm definitely going to try and help him out, but we'll see what happens here in the next one. So there you see Tifft well out now, down to 32nd. A lot of work to do for him, and I don't think he's going to get it done. So that'll do it for this episode. I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching, everybody, and have yourselves a great day.